And we're live. Cheers, everyone. We're live again. So yeah, duo review. Me and Dan over here at FLX. We both have the same beer. Decided to do this kind of a. We've been kind of planning this for a little bit. Finally got time to do it. So as you can tell from the title, we're doing green flowers from Other Half. So double dry hop West Coast IPA coming in at 6.8% ABV. Citra, Strata, Idaho 7, Amarillo. I'm pretty sure they were probably canned the same time. Mine's kind of smudged. It's got a clearer date.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan's got a clearer date. Mine's definitely very smudged.
You know what? I think yours was brewed on the 8th. Looking at it. It's either the 8 or the 9.
Yeah, maybe 8. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So
June.
Either way, science.
Different locations, right? So mine's at a DC. I'm not sure.
Mine's at a DC as well.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So yeah, I thought it'd be different, different regions, but maybe I don't know. Is Green Flowers only brewed out of DC, or is it brewed at other locations?
So here's the way I think it goes with Other Half. I could be wrong. So they used to do the tabs or whatever, but now they just put the date or the where it's from. I think it's whoever created it first.
So you think DC created the green flowers first?
Yes. So okay, all the chromas. The chromas is a single hopped one, and that was made in FLX. And then all the the Forevers, I think, that they do.
Mm-hmm. That's New York.
DC.
Yeah. Oh. What about the Daydream ones?
Daydreams, I think that's New York.
Brooklyn.
I think I could be wrong, but
so each region has their own kind of
right. And I think they some of the flagships, maybe they all Citra everything. I noticed a lot of times comes from DC, at least in this area, but I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. Other Half is such a mystery nowadays.
Yeah, well, because I always thought all Citra was out of their Brooklyn location because that's when it kind of originated. But now that they have the DC location, now it's it's in Wegmans because that's the only in Wegmans it's all Citra, it's broccoli, that whatever that session one is, Forever or something. Like the silver can, whatever it's a real BV one.
Yep.
It's those three that are in Wegmans.
Yeah, those are the flagships, and then they'll throw in a rotation of different Daydreams.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on the Wegmans you go to, because around here, during their anniversary, literally I found Other Half, the triple IPA from their anniversary at Wegmans for cheaper than you could buy it at Other Half.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, I had one that I think they did a collab. It must have been a collab with Wegmans or something. It was some sort of DC one, but they were doing tastings of it. I forgot what it was called. I think I did a review on it. But that's weird. But yeah, you want to crack it open?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Miscellaneous is in the chat, and he said, "Where's Mike?" Unreal. They tried to push the All Everything series for $33 for a 4-pack. Jesus Christ. I mean, I know it's 25 here or something like that, or at least over $20 here. But
I don't know, usually like all Citra everything here, I can get it for it's like $20, I think.
I think it's like 25 here. I feel like.
Well, it depends where you're at. Like if I go to the brewery.
Yeah. I mean, it looks very similar. I mean,
I guess I got the hashtag proper glassware. The other half clouds.
Yeah, I don't have other half glassware.
Yeah.
Looks pretty similar. I mean, different lighting.
I don't know about you, but like in person, this looks like the day after a bottle share when I wake up in the morning. Kind of like
right. Yeah, right. Yeah. It was a hard no. Well, yeah, $33 for a 4-pack. Josh looks hazy just by glass. Yeah, I mean, Dan's looks a little bit darker than mine. I mean, mine doesn't. Dan's looks more like a West Coast. Mine looks like an American IPA, which they're classified.
I think, dude, mine looks more like the stem of your glass.
Right? Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's darker up top and then a little bit lighter on the bottom.
My head is like, it's a very loose kind of rocky kind of head. It's not even, it's soapy.
Mine's kind of like that. Yeah. Kind of get that soapy head up top.
This looks like the soap in the sink after you get done washing your dishes.
Right? Yeah, same. Like, I mean, it still looks great. I mean, I feel like it. Well, so on Untappd they call it an American IPA, right? But on the can it says West Coast IPA, which I think it's that new modern day type West Coast type style IPAs, right? So they're not as darker.
I mean, I guess we'll find out. I was telling Josh. I mean, obviously I've had this before, but it was like last year.
Yeah, same.
So like I don't even.
I've had it for a little bit, and I think I've had it before, But it'll be interesting to see how it's held up. But you want to go into the aromas?
Sure.
All right. There's a lot of pininess. I get piney.
Oh wow. On these, I like going back to the can a little bit. Don't shoot me when I say this, but out of the can, like straight out of the can, first rip, I got a little heady on it.
A little bit, yeah.
Not as like pungent or bombastic, but there's
definitely pininess, for sure. You get that citrus. I'm getting a lot of citrus.
Oh yeah.
So the can smells more citrusy than in the glass. I feel like the glass is a little bit more malty, a little bit more sweeter.
Drew does not approve of our nosing.
How dare you? Don't drink it. We're getting to that. We're getting to that point. Yeah. We gotta break it down.
There is this kind of that zippy citrus, like after you eat like a tangerine kind of deal. I think it's more of a tangerine, and after you eat it, and that you get to the last bit, and you're like really just oversaturated with that citrus, and that sticks with you for a while because it's all over,
I feel like it's more zippy on the aromas in the can than it is in the glass. I feel like there's more of a sweeter note in the glass than there is.
Yeah. I get a little bit of lime too.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It smells. I don't know if it really smells like a West Coast. I mean, there's definitely some pininess to it, right? But
yeah,
there's some sweetness to it, but it's got like that American IPA, which is what Untapped is calling it. But obviously, on the can, they're saying a West Coast IPA.
it smells like if Other Half tried to make a West Coast IPA. That's what it smells
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that modern day. It's like that modern day. You know, like the modern day West Coast IPAs that a lot of these breweries are putting out.
Yeah,
they're like, they're not. I mean, they have that slight West Coast vibe to it, but it's not like ooh, like
yeah.
yeah. It's I don't know. So, you want to dive into it?
Sure.
All right, cheers, dude.
Cheers.
Wow. This is an American IPA. it's a modern day West is what I'm getting.
It's not like a true West Coast. No way.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
right off the rip, the first thing that gets me about this though is the body and mouthfeel.
Kind of watery.
I mean, it's 6.8, so
yeah, it's not going to be a beast feel to it, but
carbed, obviously lots of carbonation, but yeah, dude, it's lacking like in a really like old school Westy, I guess you get that super like heavy bit of like syrupy kind of like resin thing,
yeah,
and with like that grapefruit sting or something.
Yeah, I'm not getting that at all. Like this tastes like a regular single hopped IPA, or not single hopped IPA, but
okay, like I feel like we sound like this beer's awful. It's not, but it's just
no, it's not awful whatsoever. But I just don't think it's. If you gave me this without telling me the style, I wouldn't tell you it's a West Coast IPA, like a traditional West Coast IPA. Yeah. Like this is drinking like a regular IPA. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it has a moderate amount of bitterness to it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if it's all bittering or if it's like because it's like partially drying on the back of the palate, so maybe that amplifies that a little bit. But
yeah, but there's no like malty sweetness to it, right? For like traditional West Coast IPAs, right? You get that pininess, you get that maltiness. This, like I said, this just drinks like a regular. I mean, I don't want to say it's an American IPA because I mean, obviously it's not hazy, right? But
it's got a subtle sweetness on the front.
Yeah, and you got a little bit of bitterness on the back, but it's not like super piney.
It actually drinks a little soapy too.
A little bit, yeah.
I guess some of that lime comes through. Man, there's that wheat background to it. It just came knocking at me.
But it's I wouldn't classify this as a West Coast IPA.
No.
But I guess you know.
They should have just said
an American IPA.
Yeah, straight up.
You know, like
because here's the thing, like so I noticed like so all the West Coast places like Everywhere, North Park, Green Cheek, obviously they nail the West Coast styles. They're really good. And their hazies are pretty good too, but their hazies have more of a West Coast influence. Where over here our hazies are hazy as shit.
Yeah.
And we just can't seem to, I don't know. a lot of people are making the hybrids, and I'm not against it, but
a lot of people aren't making the traditional type West Coast IPAs.
I guess what I'm trying to say is when North Park makes a hazy, it's really good.
Yeah. Well,
when other half makes a West Coast,
yeah,
it's not on the same level. Now, how many West Coasts have you had from other non-hazy IPAs?
From who?
Other half.
2 or 3 maybe. I've had some lagers, pilsner, stouts. Not too many, but
yeah.
This, like I said, this one's kind of like that modern. A lot of brewers are putting out. They're calling them West Coast, but they're like that modern West Coast type stuff. Which they're compared to like old school West Coast, like they're not the same,
Hey, did you drink the other half IPA, like the OG one they brought back? They brought back the recipe for the first time in like forever. It was like it was one of other half's first IPAs they ever brewed, and when they first started making it, if you look it up on like Untapped, it was not a hazy.
I don't think so. It was more like an American IPA, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it turned hazy, which is decent. Like, I'm not mad at this. And the thing is, like, the price point on this one, at least here, is cheaper than other offerings. Like, I think at the brewery right now, I want to say if I went and picked this up, 18, 16.
Let's see. I think that's what I paid for it. But I mean, my thing is, don't call it a West Coast.
Yeah.
When it's really not. Like, just calling it an IPA, right?
Yeah. So, $18 right now.
Yeah.
It says, is this the same as what they say on the can? It says our West Coast IPA brewed with a balanced bitterness and a blend of our favorite classic IPA hops and new school ones, all grown in the Pacific Northwest. Brewed with 100% malted barley and then hopped with the Citra, Amarillo, Idaho 7, Strata.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely like that new school West Coast. That a lot of brewers,
They say candied pineapple, sweet orange, tropical fruit, and some dank creamy notes.
I don't get that, but
no.
I don't even really get a lot of dankness. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of pine.
Dude, for me it's all floral.
Yeah.
Like
this,
green flowers.
This is an American IPA. Just call it an American IPA. Don't call it a West Coast.
Like you can tell, like there's a lot of hops in the boil on this, like green flowers. Like it comes off very like Flonase. After you use Flonase and like that, like that's what I get.
What do you get? Like sticky vibes from it, like a sticky mouthfeel after. Sometimes like beers, you get like that kind of like that sticky, syrupy type.
Minimal.
Taste to it.
Like it's sort of forming, but not as much as Okay, so what was it? A couple weekends ago, I think I maybe had on Tanner's channel. It was a collab between Three Floyds and someone else. It was like a 9% West Coast IPA.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was like crazy sticky, dude.
Westie's trying to finish more than anything balance. 11 between bitter. Yeah, oh for sure. Like this is definitely like this isn't a West Coast. This isn't a West Coast IPA. Like just call it an American IPA. And I mean no knock to I know there's a lot of breweries that put out the modern day type West Coast, but Yeah,
I don't even think it's that.
I need more. I need more. I need more of this. I mean, you got what one Amarillo, I guess, is a West Coast hop, right? But I need like Chinook and Centennial, that type of stuff. But I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's a good
Let me ask you: Do you think this would benefit from being a bigger beer?
If they raise the ABV,
yeah.
Would it make it more West Coast if they raise the ABV, or just like?
I mean, it might make it a little bit more maltier, like sweet, kind of sticky.
Possibly, maybe if it was like 8%, 8.5%, something like that. But I think it just kind of comes down to the hops, right? Like if they put, Chinook and Centennial, Amarillo, like the true like classic West Coast type hops. Like I said, this is more of a American IPA for me than a West Coast. Like I'm not getting that malty sweetness. I'm not getting that. I mean, there's a little bit of pine on the very back end, but it's very minimal. But, I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. But I mean, it's a great beer. Don't get me wrong, but I think they should have labeled it something differently.
I think this is the beer that if you're going to a can share or something, or ship another half to some people, and you want to give them a representation of some other styles that they make, maybe throw a can of this in.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what I'd be interested in doing is if I had this and I opened up a can of one of their hazies and made like a little cuvee to see how much, because that's the one knock against other half hazies I hear a lot of people say, and I sometimes get it, is they're too sweet and there's not enough bitterness on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think this is a traditional West Coast IPA. I mean, I know they label it as that, but like I said, label it as an American IPA. Like, but then again, like, maybe this is a beer that would you agree that this would be something that you would introduce someone to IPAs, like if they're kind of getting in the craft scene? Like it's not too bitter, it's not too hoppy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I think this would be, because you could like literally show them different styles. Like you could this, then give them a hazy and be like, this is old school. This is,
Because I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I like craft beer, but I hate IPAs. And I'm like, well, there's so many different variations of IPAs to like break down. You had one like super bitter, probably, super bitter IPA or whatever. And then you just base your palate or something that you had, and you think every other IPA tastes just like that. And it's like, no. There's so many other different styles of IPAs, but probably the same type of thing. I'd probably get to someone that's kind of a more not really into IPAs, but if you gave them something like this, they'd be like, oh, it's not bad. It's not overly hoppy, because a lot of people that aren't really big into IPAs are like, oh, it's too hoppy, right? There's a nice sweetness to it. There's a little bit of bitterness, but it's not over hoppy. It's light and easy drinking, I'd say. I mean, it's 6.8, you know.
I work with a guy, his beer of choice, what he buys at the supermarket, he always buys the 12 packs of the Founders Centennial all day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I feel like I could confidently give him this, and he'd probably like it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Tanner. Yeah. Yep. Lunch from Maine Beer Company's one of those. An approachable beer for sure. Little hazy, but still kind of that Westy. Yeah, for sure. Depending on malts used and possibly hops. Sometimes they even use sugar in the West Coast to add that dryness. Oh, for sure. Definitely looks great. I mean, we're not knocking the beer. I mean, it's still a great, but I just think they should just they shouldn't call it a West Coast. I'll tell you that much. It's just call it an IPA.
Beer Man brings up a point. I didn't even say it, but it's highly drinkable.
Oh like yeah, it's great.
It's not a palate killer. It's not like it's light. Yeah.
I mean, it's a crusher. You know, I drink that dinner. Yeah, I drank dinner from Maine Beer Company last night. Actually, I got a growler of it. There's no breakfast. Apparently, so we were having this conversation before. Maine was talking about putting out breakfast, because they have lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking the bottle shop that I go to. I was like, "Oh, you guys gonna get breakfast from Maine Beer Company?" And he was like, "Oh, well, what happened was." I guess it was a batch that they wanted to dump, and there was something called second dinner that Maine puts out that's pretty hard to get. I mean, dinner is hard to get regardless.
Mm-hmm.
They have second dinner from Maine, and I guess they never really put it out, and they just called it breakfast, and it was kind of a batch they wanted to dump, but. Yeah, I've never even heard of second dinner, but I had dinner last night. Phenomenal, super fresh. But yeah, that's something totally separate from this beer review. Even those American IPAs beyond the Westie can still. Yeah, that's the thing, like a lot of brewers are putting out Westies, but they're kind of more of that American, like the new Westies, where they're kind of more of an American IPA than malty, West Coast, like you're not getting, Sierra Nevada Dogfish Head type vibes from it,
Yeah.
You're getting more of that hazy West Coast, right? That new school West Coast, which is fine. I mean, it's great, but don't label it as a West Coast IPA. Not putting out those type of, I don't know.
Really quick,
that's my opinion about it.
Really quick, I looked it up. I've had lunch, fall, and Mean Old Tom from Maine. So I haven't had dinner. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, this is. I'm trying to think of something comparable. Like that you can just go bottle.
I'm trying to compare it to what.
Because I was gonna say like
right, yeah.
Like Great Lakes has their Commodore Perry. Maybe something like that. Bell's is a little bit more maltier.
What about Union Jack? Well, from Firestone, but
yeah,
that might be something comparable to that. I mean, I guess, yeah. I don't know. It'd be hard.
I don't know what they're afraid of. This beer comes off like they were afraid to go all the way with it. I don't know.
Yeah, just make it just make it a West Coast. Like, don't call it a West Coast
because here's the thing. I feel like if anyone could do it, would be other half to make like the super dank, just malt bomb. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know,
yeah. It sucks because it's like we're sitting here mourning this beer, just like.
I mean, we're not talking shit. You know, it's like it's a great beer, right? But it's not true to style, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but I was expecting. I mean, I've had it before, but when you see West Coast IPA on something, you're looking for more of that piney maltiness, like that dankness. And this is one of the, and I mean, a lot of breweries do this now. It's that new school, modern West Coast IPAs. Like, it's the modern day West Coast compared to like the old schools, like Sierra Nevada, Dogfish, you know.
Lagunitas,
yeah. And I mean, it's fine, but don't call it a West Coast. Call it an American IPA. And I think that's my biggest gripe with it. It's they're calling this a West Coast. What I mean, it looks nothing like a West Coast. You know, I mean,
if IPAs were rappers and Pac was the West Coast ones, you got Biggie. This is like Lupe Fiasco. Like it's just Midwest IPA.
I love Lupe Fiasco. He's great.
Oh, I love it too. But what I'm saying is, that's Midwest. Like this is
yeah. But just like, I think I had that Fiden's West Coast. It was one of the. I think Fiden's had like a West Coast IPA.
Oh yeah,
and it wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it. Tasted like a burnt tire. I'm not sure if I got a couple bad cans or something like that. But
yeah,
like, I'm looking for that piney bitterness, like Green Flash, for example. I mean, we don't get Green Flash on the East Coast anymore because they kind of pulled out. But like Palette Wrecker, I don't know if you had Palette Wrecker from Green Flash, but
I have not.
That was like piney, bitter, like it was like 9-10% ABV, like West Coast, like true traditional type West Coast. And it was so good.
I don't know why, all I could think about right now is like Waldo's.
Oh, the Waldo's special. Yeah. From Lagunitas. Yeah. I mean, that was another great beer.
Yeah.
Lactose from fucking Larry. I guess in all reality. Well, yeah. I'm just saying that don't classify this as a West Coast IPA when it's more of an American IPA. You know, I mean, it's still a great beer. Don't get me wrong, but I like blind taste testing. If you would have given me this, I would have. I wouldn't tell you it's a West Coast. I'd tell you it's probably more of an American IPA. Green Flash.
I just saw a mixed pack of Torpedo.
Torpedo is great.
It was in the mixed pack. It was Torpedo, Atomic Torpedo, Torpedo Cryo,
yeah,
and forget the other Torpedo, but I almost bought it. Date was kind of old though, May. I was like,
well, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of dating wise. Yeah.
But to me, I guess if I was going to buy any IPA, to me that's the more safe style to get if you're going to drink an older one. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's good.
Hearing about it, it's like one. Yeah, I mean it's not terrible. I mean I'm enjoying it, but I just think they should have.
I don't know if it's
called it something else, right? It's an American IPA all day.
Yeah,
like, this is not. This is just because you threw Amarillo in there, you're gonna call it a West Coast, like you know, like no knock at other half, but like call it an IPA. Don't call it a West Coast.
Yeah, but
you know
that's how it is. You can other half can brew any IPA, and if it's not hazy, they're like, it's a West Coast, and people eat that shit up. They'll go to the tap room and eat that shit up.
Yeah. Those are good names. Zombies are in date. Yeah. Yeah. Just call it what it is. Don't call it a West Coast.
As I've sat here and drank this down,
I'm not getting. There's a little bit of pininess.
But a little sweeter too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess there's a little bit of Christmas tree action popping off now.
Maybe a tad bit, but to me this is a West Coast IPA.
Like, ultimately, I think this lacks that malt backbone. I really do.
Oh, for sure. Oh, most definitely. It's an American IPA. You know, like there's no getting past it. I mean, it's great. You know, I'm not knocking it whatsoever. It's other half, right? You know, but I just think they should have rebranded it to something else. I'm enjoying it.
Here's a review of this beer. It's a good beer. I just wish it was more robust. Basically.
I just want more pine. Yeah, there you go, Brewing. Christmas tree. Yeah. Yeah, if you're claiming that it's a West Coast IPA, I feel like you're gonna have that pininess. Like I said, it's a great beer. It's good, but style-wise, I don't think it fits.
Yeah.
Like you're calling it a West Coast when you should call it an American IPA. I mean, because you can't really call it a hazy because it's not hazy, right?
Oh my God, that's a whole separate discussion right there. How How many breweries have you like gone to or something, or got a can? Like, oh, here's our hazy IPA, and it looks like this. You're like,
right?
you look.
Oh, so you have an American IPA, right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh Jesus!
It's a good
For
beer.
anyone watching this, by the end of it, there's gonna be like, yeah, these guys are snobs. They're snobs.
We're not snobs. We just know what classifies certain styles, certain hops, right? Like if this had like the classic C's, right? Chinook, Centennial.
Okay, wait. Here's a perfect example. You got the Hop Butcher, right?
Yeah.
The clear.
Yeah, I haven't had it yet.
Okay, when you have it, think about this beer.
Oh, really? Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I just think it comes down to the hop profile for sure. If you're gonna call yourself or a beer, a West Coast IPA, right?
Mm.
And I know there's a lot of brewers that, obviously this is a new school West Coast IPA, aka an American IPA.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a bad beer. It's not traditional to what they're calling it, and I mean that's just my opinion. Like I wouldn't like I said, blind taste testing this. I wouldn't. Oh, that's a West Coast IPA. I'd say it's an American IPA.
Directly after doing this, I'm going to open up a Sierra Nevada because I have one in a can.
Right? I got 90 minute upstairs.
You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm going to.
Like, yeah. Well, because even 90 minute, 60 minute and 90 minute. Well, especially 90 minute. I think that's more of like that West Coast vibe.
Yeah.
I
have not had a 90 minute in a while.
I got cans upstairs. It's great. Yeah, I haven't had it in a while either, but like the originators, right? Sierra Nevada, Lagunitas, Dogfish. Like when I think of West Coast IPAs or double IPAs, stuff like that. I look at those breweries, and or even like Green Flash, which kind of pulled out from the East Coast, like that palette wrecker, which was amazing. But like I said, this isn't bad. It's just I don't think it's traditional style. Like I wouldn't call this a West Coast IPA, but I mean that's what they're calling it. But
yeah,
it's great. It's good, but style wise, but score wise, what would you give it, Dan? I know you don't. I'm not sure how you score your stuff.
Traditionally, me and Mike, we score out of 5. Traditionally, give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh wow!
Probably like 3.954. It's right there.
3.954. So almost a 4. Almost a 4.
Yeah, it's like it's right because like I said, if you hide the label and said, "Hey, do you want a regular IPA? Want an old school IPA?" oh, this is good. It's a nice, nice IPA. So it might even be like it'd be higher if it was what it said it was, but it's not. So
yeah. Oh, you gotta shout me out. Get out of here. Even Stone has some nice Westies. Don't get me started on Stone. Score wise for me, so I do mine out of 100.
okay.
I'll probably get 88, 88 of 100. I mean, it's B plus.
Yep.
Not the greatest. I just think that style wise, I think they kind of missed the mark. But still a good beer. Nothing too crazy. But when I see West Coast IPAs, I'm looking more for that piney bitterness. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely if you see it, for sure, definitely pick it up.
Yep.
I'm not sure how widely distributed other half is now. I know they're kind of expanding. They have a bunch of facilities, but
I would say if you live in the Northeast,
yeah.
I don't think there's a reason why you can't get other half at this point. And matter of fact, you can have it delivered to you straight to your house in multiple states.
I can have it delivered for sure, but don't pay $33 like miscellaneous.
See that's the thing. That's the thing. Like Bumpy and all them. They said the distributor just outpriced other half. I'd have to look, but they shipped to like 30 states or something like that. Like it'd probably be cheaper just to like order straight from other half and have it shipped to you. If you really wanted it.
Yeah, compared to going to your bottle shop.
Yeah.
And paying $30 plus for a 4-pack,
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of spoiled in just the fact that I work 5 minutes from the brewery. Like it's there. So
yeah. I mean, there's other half DC, you know what I mean? But I mean, I can get, other half shipped to the house, but this one, I mean, it was good. It just I feel like it kind of missed the mark as traditional wise, but I mean, obviously, if you see it, pick it up and let us know.
I will say this: they'll be expanding soon as far as their reach into stores, actually, because other half they just opened up a new tap room, and it's 10 minutes from the FLX locations in Canandaigua. It's other half Lakeshore, but they bought that because the old brewery there, it's a 30-barrel system.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I mean that's a lot of freaking beer to be able to make. So,
but you got any? Probably end this here soon. You got any shout outs, Dan?
Yeah, we just released some videos this past week, and think we released our pickle beer battle. I think that's let's see. Yeah, we did that, and then we got our hands on some aged Treehouse, thanks to Steven, aka the Resource. It was Eternity. We enjoyed it a little bit more than Joe. Joe got a bottle too. He reviewed it. So, yeah, just kind of chilling. Shout out to Casey, aka King Cobra, who's officially a little bit older man today. It's his birthday. So, shout out to him. Happy birthday, Casey.
Yeah. There you go. Cheers, Dan. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Doing the review with me. I know
we were supposed to do this a week ago, but
yeah, it's been
my weak immune system couldn't handle it.
Right. Yeah. No, you're good. Shout outs for me. I mean, look out for more kind of beer reviews. I mean, I've been trying to get in doing more beer reviews on YouTube compared to Instagram with pictures and all that stuff. But yeah, I just picked up a bunch of new shit. So look out for that. Billy Crooker 87 is my Instagram. Dan FLX. But haven't done beer bowl in a while. Maybe I'll do a spontaneous beer bowl sometime this week. Like I said, I'm on vacation this week, so I don't really have any obligations other than that. But yeah, appreciate everyone popping in the chat. Beer Man, go check him out.
Yeah.
He does his beer and cheese every Tuesday, all spun out Wednesday. He does his home brews,
Yo, did you see that crazy hazy he's doing right now?
I did, yeah. I guess happy birthday to KC, King Cobra. I think he's still alive now. Cheers to Tanner.
Yeah, he is.
Goes fuck you. Native, cheers. I didn't even see it pop up. Cheers to you, Native. Great supporter. Let's see. Beerman. Tanner. Miscellaneous, go check him out. I'm not sure if he's still around. I know Casey was around. Check out Doubtfire as well. I know he wasn't in the chat, but yeah, I was glad we were able to do a review, same beer. It's been a long time coming. So
yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it proper next time, though. I'm gonna force Mike. I'll abduct Mike from his home and say, "Damn it, Mike!"
Right? Damn it, Mike. So yeah, look out for future reviews between me and the FLX crew, and appreciate you, Dan, for coming and doing a review with me. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. So, cheers.